Hi, I'm Jessitalia Lincoln, educator with Vintaj. Today we're going to be embossing blanks with the Sizzix Big Shot. Another way to emboss is with the Vintaj folders from Sizzix. This is one of our folder types. You can see it has multiple patterns within one folder, meaning you could emboss different images. Just by layering the altered blank in different areas of the folder, you can see that you can get many images out of one folder. I'm going to emboss the tree with a square altered blank. So I'm just going to layer the blank over the area I would like to emboss. Close the folder and grab it over where the blank is. And this time, using the platform, I'm not going to use any tabs, so I just have the bottom platform, a clear plate, the folder with the blank, and the second clear plate stacked on top. I'm going to grab all of the pieces together, and then you're going to start to feed it into the machine, and then crank the wheel until you feel it come out the opposite side. Here you can see the embossed pattern. And what you're going to want to do is flex the folder just a little bit to release the blank. You can also use a metal reliefing block to highlight the raised areas. And depending on how much polish you want, you can use the gray side, the light gray side as well. I'm going to apply color to the embossed blank using some of Ranger's paint dabbers in Juniper. This color I like to use as a base. I'm going to apply it over the entire surface. What I do is apply acrylic paints before I add alcohol ink. It gives it a more vibrant color and an opaque background. It also gives it a neat patinaed look. While the paint's still wet, I'm going to use a paper towel to remove some of the excess paint from the raised areas. Next, I'm going to apply some raspberry colored alcohol ink over the painted piece. Do a few drops. And again, you can use a paper towel to blot it to cover the entire surface. You can see how the color is changing a little bit. It's adding a little bit of purple there along the edges by mixing the paint color and the ink. You can create a lot of your own colors by applying different colored paint to the background before applying the alcohol inks. This takes just about a minute to dry. And what you can also do is use the metal reliefing block, again, to lightly sand the raised areas to bring back the detail in the tree, leaving the paint in the background. This dark gray side of our reliefing block is great for removing paints and inks when you have a thicker layer. And bring back the brass in the entire raised area by using this side of the block. And then you can go ahead and, before sealing it, actually use this light side to polish away any scratches or abrasions from that heavier grit side of the reliefing block. Now I'm going to use a little bit of Renaissance wax and just dab a little bit on my finger to seal in some of the color. This will protect the metal and the color from being removed. When using the metal folders, you get more detail and definition within the blank. And you're able to also emboss some of our decorative shapes, such as the flowers, hearts, butterflies, and more. You could also emboss many smaller altar blanks like little tags and drops. Here are some examples using the Vintaj folders, plates, and texture fades. This here is one of the Vintaj plates with the tree that I demonstrated. However, it was done on a circle blank and then riveted onto one of our other jewelry components. These examples here were painted and inked with acrylic paints and alcohol inks. Thanks for playing today. Be sure to visit the Vintaj blog for my daily dialogue with Jess, featuring many project ideas, tips and techniques, tutorials, and many more videos, and a ton of inspiration.